So yeah, it's been 2 years since then. Oh my god, it's April 28th. I got the date wrong yesterday. I thought it was April 25th, but it's April 28th now. And yeah, those 2 years have flown by, I've got to admit. It doesn't seem like that because I've been vlogging for like the last year and a quarter, year and a third, including like the 2 months there. So for the last 2 years, I've only spent probably about 6 months not vlogging on a regular basis, so that's a big achievement, I think, and that's only really 3 months without uploading to YouTube. So this has probably been my most active 2 years on YouTube, especially my vlogging, which has obviously improved. So yeah, since then, what's improved? Camera improved, despite the fact that I used this camera for I had this camera bud when I filmed the first vlog, and I used it in like a couple of vlogs there, I can't remember which one, but I started using it very early on. I think it's a bit lopsided. There we go. I started using it early on, and obviously the lighting's got a lot better, and the quality. Obviously the lighting's not as good as it could be, but it's better than that one. And yeah, I just got better as a filmmaker, and yeah, those 2 years just flown by, and it's strange to think at that point. Sorry about that. That's come out of nowhere. Strange to think at that point, I had just had a tumour removed from my nose, and like, I was nervous about GCSEs and all that, but now I'm in like probably the time of my life. So yeah, these 2 years have been good. And also, it's, wait, 4? Can't be 4 weeks. Well, apparently you are, oh no, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks until you've got your 2-year anniversary of your Super Saturday vlogs. So yeah, looking forward to that. I don't know any suggestions for it, but a Q&A might suffice. A Q&A maybe? And maybe even a dual Q&A, like, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a Q&A because the last one I did was in the weekday vlogs, which 2 years ago, so my answers might have changed, and I didn't get a lot of variety of questions that time, so I'm probably going to, get questions for my vlog later, which will be hopefully better than the one I did 2 years ago. So yeah, do a Q&A for your 2-year anniversary, your 100 Super Saturday vlog. I mean, that's even more remarkable. That means for 2 years you have been vlogging literally on a regular basis, like throughout summer 2014 I wasn't really vlogging, but you were, just tough to believe that. So yeah, that's a big milestone of the day. Another thing I've been thinking about over the last few weeks is my old movie reviews now. I've seen the movies again and I would change their ratings, so I'm just going to dedicate this part of the vlog to adjusting a few of the film's comments, not necessarily ratings because I haven't researched what I gave them, but I'm pretty sure I didn't give them what they should have got. So if I did the reviews now, they would obviously have these ratings. So, it's Citizen Kane, obviously the most famous one, which is my first ever movie. I gave an 8 out of 10. I'll probably now give it an all spectacular. Another one was Terminator 1. I watched that quite recently and I figured how wrong I was. I call it a mediocre horror movie, or a good, just good horror movie. No, I did watch it and I figured it's not just that, it is more like the second one than I thought. So I think I probably gave it a 7 out of 10. I'm going to move that to a very, very, very good movie, because it's not perfect. It's not as good as the second one still. Second one I still agree with my opinions on. Right, now we're going negative. Johnny English 1. You actually mentioned Johnny English 2, and I haven't changed my opinion on that film. You watched it the other week and I'm sure you enjoyed it. I still do, but the first one, I think I didn't give it that good a rating. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. But now, I watched it the other week and I didn't laugh once. It was just bad. It wasn't funny when I saw it that time. So I'd actually rank it down from a 6 or a 7, whatever I gave it, to probably a It'd be a good time with only plenty of shots of vodka. And Airplane. I don't know what I gave it. I'm pretty sure I gave it somewhere in the region of an 8 out of 10. I may have even given it a 10 out of 10. I may even have given it a 10 out of 10, but I'm actually going to improve it from that because I saw it again, obviously. And I figured, literally, I hadn't seen the movie in ages. So I was like, yeah, it's not going to be that good. But then I laughed so hard at it. I got more of the jokes that time, so it would be... Obviously now, it would definitely be an all spectacular, and I wouldn't have any negative comments to say about it. Literally, it's so good. It's now moved into my top 5 movies of all time. So yeah, that's just a little thinking on how I'll change the ratings of movies, and if there's any more that I missed out, please notify me. Also, Matt, yeah, yet to answer my other question and proposal, which is if you don't do any weekday vlogs like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday over the exam period that you have, I can do them, but you need to repay the debt, as it were, and you do the amount I did during your exam period. So if you could just say if you have exams, and if they overlap weekday vlogs, because I don't want you to not do the vlogs over revision. I don't want you to do that, so I'll be happy if you were to skip those vlogs, let me do them, and then you repay a later date. So if you're fine with that, and tell me when your exams are, that would be good. Because I want to know, because I think your exams probably start in May, which is only a few days away. Oh my god, May's already come. Now moving on to the movie review. Now, the movies I saw last week: Force Awakens, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Alright, so Force Awakens on Saturday, and already reviewed that, and then we were flicking through Sky Movies on Sunday looking for a movie to watch, and Empire Strikes Back was on, like the middle of it to the end, and I was like, it's my favourite movie of all time, why would I not want to watch it? And then Return of the Jedi was on afterwards, and yeah, so I haven't watched a new movie. Oh my god. So I just came on the top of my head and thought, we're on a John Travolta theme, so let's review one of his other 90s movies, which I was actually going to review earlier on in the year, but I didn't because I was going to scream over it. It is Face Off. Face Off. Face Off. So yeah, Face Off is a action movie made in '97. It stars John Travolta and Nicolas Cage as the two main characters, and John Travolta's son, who plays a spy, his son is killed by Nicolas Cage's terrorist character, and so he's out for personal revenge on him, and then they find that Nicolas Cage's character a few years later has got like a terrorist plan to destroy a town or something, and then they do a complex operation. They arrest Nicolas Cage's character and they do a complex operation to change John Travolta into Nicolas Cage, so he can get the information on where the bomb to the town is hidden. But then Nicolas Cage's character breaks out of his slumber and takes John Travolta's face. So it's basically like Travolta plays the hero, but Nicolas Cage plays the villain. But in the movie, it's opposite. So you're rooting for Nicolas Cage as Travolta's character. One of the biggest mind-blowing moments in all the movie, but you'll get it if you see it. I've got to give this movie props for the idea of the story. It is amazing how you can have two actors play... It's raining out there, if you can hear anything, that's why I just turned my head. I think I've got to give the movie props for making me genuinely believe Nicolas Cage, who is the villain for the first half an hour of the movie, could be taken seriously as the hero. And Travolta is the hero, and well regards the hero, was the villain in the last 2 acts. So they no problem believing it, and it was just brilliant. That idea, just on the face of it, just brilliant. Oh yeah, it was a face swap. It wasn't just actually putting a DNA in it. It was they swapped their faces over. I think it's a bit of a plot hole. How could they do it? But it's a dumb action movie. So what do you know? No, I wouldn't say it's a dumb action movie. Dumb action movies like Independence Day and stuff like that, True Lies. This is a much smarter take on it. And the action in this movie is sort of spaced out, but mainly in the later part of the movie. But the final battle between the two main characters and the scene in which they look each other in the mirrors, literally have mirrors, and they look at each other, just great symbolism. And yeah, just when it is there, it's good, but it's a bit too spaced out, but the story and how they fit into their environment is just great. The acting in this movie is sort of, I would say Cage and Travolta obviously play the parts perfectly. They can play both the hero and the villain, which is just great. And yeah, Nicolas Cage, I did legitimately say to him, Nicolas Cage, the Nicolas Cage from The Wicker Man. Yeah, the Nicolas Cage. At one point he was a good actor. But the rest of the characters aren't that memorable really. I can't really remember any of them, which is not really a good sign. I can only remember the two main characters. I can remember a few of the Nicolas Cage's henchmen. I can remember a few of them, like just that whole scene of Face Off. Like the parts of comedy in the movie, like it's not really Force Awakens level comedy / action welded in very nicely. This one is not too many moments, but when they are there, they're pretty good. And yeah, so are there any complaints? Well, the thing is the finale takes place in two separate, like the final action scene is split in two. Like there's a big showdown between all the henchmen, and then there's a gap in the movie, something happens, and then there's the final battle. I think they should have cut out that bit in between and just have it had the final battle, like just the final battle in its all, and not have it all, you know, spaced out and everything. And there are a lot of things to nitpick about the entire premise. Like a premise like this, so inventive, has to have a few things wrong with it. Obviously, like Travolta has a wife who Cage's character gets in his face, so he like treats his wife a lot better. So why couldn't she notice a difference? But also you think after that, why would she and her daughter want their real Travolta back? Because he was so good, the Nicolas Cage one, a bit out of the ordinary, but they could have probably got used to it. So it's very nitpicky, but there's most of the premise has got to happen, these kind of nitpicks. But one of the premises that really, one of the nitpicks that doesn't have to do with the premise out of the movie is the fact that at the prison they get sent to, how do they even expect to get out? They need to have a complex prison escape with Nicolas Cage's character, which Travolta playing Nicolas Cage's character. This is so weird to say. The hero. They had to have a complex escape. Why couldn't they just tell the guards, like the FBI, this is the hero, let him escape? You know, they have to make him escape, and I think that's a bit of a plot hole in the movie's behalf. They should have known. Right, this rain has distracted me, so I'll wrap up the review. Overall, it's a brilliant action movie. Like, the action is there, it's brilliant, and the premise is also brilliant. I'd say it's a very, very, very good movie. Yeah, looking back on it, it's actually held up better than Scream, which I watched in the same week. Like, I'll remember more from Face Off than Scream. So yeah, the rain has really distracted me, so I'll wrap up the vlog. Matt, I will answer my question, and I'll see you on Saturday.